Hello, everybody. We're on week 4. We have 2 weeks left, and I'm hoping you're all looking at the final. I want you to note that on the final, it's going to be more than a few slides, and I'm looking to have that where there's 20, and we have the voice overlay. And I want you to start looking at that, seeing if you need help, if you don't know how to do a voice overlay, and I expect you to write to me so I can help you with that. So on week 4, though, our student competencies are recognize the historical influence these countries have on human trafficking. Identify the consequences of human trafficking internationally, including demographic, political, health, and labor consequences. Your reading is going to be Shelley's chapter 6. And Shelley wrote in this book that she talked about the word slave and how it originates from the word Slav. So that kind of tells you how it really ties a lot into this. And how did this come about? You know, prior to when we look at this, it's over thousands of years. It had to been there was many times that people were enslaved. But then what happened? A major reason for human trafficking is right now is because it was controlled by the KGB. So when someone's controlled, does that control why there's more human trafficking, less human trafficking? Kind of tie that into what you're reading. I also want you to look at the TVPA in the United States Congress passed in 2000 with President Clinton at the time. And then it was reauthorized again further on. So when we're looking at this, I want you to say to yourself, in your opinion, how would the legislation of prostitution impact sex trafficking? And if you were to legislate it, what would you demand of it? And how would it affect women and children for the purposes of sexual exploitation, if at all? One of the things I found when I was looking at sexual assault of children and women and people who exchanged child porn and people who were involved in child porn was many of them would go to websites that push the cheerleader, the naughty cheerleader, the naughty babysitter. And what does that say to you? That someone's actually looking for that age group. So I say to you, how does it affect, when we're doing this, do these organizations, if you were to legalize it, do they push the younger you are, the better you are? And what are the age requirements now for those that have legalized it? In your writing assignment, I want you to explain how trafficking affects children and women in the countries we discussed and were addressed in the assigned readings for this week. So I'm going to go back to a case I had. I had this young woman that came over from she was from Russia, and she felt she was brought up to believe she was owned, and that whatever she did was she had to do whatever was told for her to do, and that it was just part of her being. How has that changed? Has it changed? Do we see, in the United States, how Americanization of some of these ethnic groups that are coming over has changed it, or is it still ongoing? So I want you to look at that. And I also am going to be sending you a nice web page, and I'm going to get that, show you. And one of the things that it has is, hold on, I'll get there for sure. Just may take me a minute. Is the fact sheet. It's a PDF, and I'm going to send this to you. And it's stop sex trafficking of children and young people, and it's sex trafficking of children in Russia. So I'm going to send that to you because I think that might help you a lot. And it goes on about what the global sex trafficking is. And it's a web page that I found that can only help you. I also have a documentary that you should already have. It's on the sex sites, but I'm going to send it again anyways. Just in case you didn't have it, so you'll know that where you can find it, okay? And I hope that you use other sources. Look for other sources. I've given you quite a few. Under Polaris is one. Under the National Exploited Children, there's another. And if you can't find any sources, I'm always available to help you. But I think all you got to do is Google search, and you're going to find thousands upon thousands of areas. So if you have any questions this week, please let me know, and we'll help you figure it out. I also want you to remember that anytime you're doing your papers, you must have 4 pages, minimum 4 pages, not 3 pages, not a page of an abstract, not a page of a front sheet, 4 full pages This will directly affect your grade. As for your discussions, if you read the rubric, it's more than 3 gets you a perfect score. So look to give more than 3. I know it says 2 in there, and I've hoped that they've changed that, but you should be reading your rubric to see what's expected of you. Again, I wish you a great week. Thank you.